spectrum, our members range from far right to left of center. It may seem impossible to rein us all in, but occasionally it has been done, and it needs to happen more often. We need a leader who will listen to all members of our party and value our input. Dick Hinch is willing to listen and has proven that he can work with all Republicans. I've seen him roll up his sleeves and work very hard for John Stephen and Obed Longtang. We both live in the town of Merrimack, and we were the only two in our delegation to be named Heroes for the Family by Cornerstone Policy Research. Now that's about as far to the right as one can go. Yet he's also had a seat at the table with the Republicans who are not that far to the right. He's willing to listen and eager to lead. It's customary for speaker candidates to hand out pins to their supporters. Dick Hinch asked for our input when choosing a pin. Initially, he was looking at one that had the New Hampshire seal over the shape of the state of New Hampshire, but that one's already been claimed. We looked at flags, the letter R, and then we spotted one that has the American flag, an eagle, and the words, "United we stand." That says it all, doesn't it? I want to thank Representative Hinch for stepping up to run for Speaker. He has my vote, and I have some of his pins with me, so if you're a supporter of Hinch for Speaker and are running for state rep, come and see me. Now, I've been told that Democrats see Republicans as a group of infighters, while they work on how to beat us. We could take a lesson from them, and instead of putting each other down, we should stand together and focus on the positive aspects of individual candidates. This is how we can unite our party and push back the blue wave with a red tsunami. Let's win in November.
Stewart Levenson.
Thank you. Thank you for welcoming me here today. This dinner has special meaning for me. I've only been involved in politics for about a year now, and the first time I ever spoke politically was here at the Nashville Steakout. So I was amazed then, but I shouldn't be, at how warmly I was greeted, because although I was a political outsider, I found that our values were the same, and it didn't take long to make friends here. So when I spoke, I met with people who a year ago we didn't know each other, and now I consider friends. We were able to meet to talk about common interests. I picked up supporters from this group. Jack Tully here from Nashua. He must have seen I was like lost in the woods when I first showed up. A couple of prior Nashua mayors have been very supportive. So Bernie Streeter, Don Davidson, they've all been very, very good to me. And again, it may take a little longer thanking people than one usually does, but from somebody totally outside the political establishment, it's just been so heartwarming that this is what would happen. And there's a message here, because if we're going to keep prevailing, we need to bring new people in. And there are plenty of people out there, like myself, who share Republican conservative values, and if you would approach them, they would come to committee meetings, and that would ensure that we would be able to prevail, and when our principles are the ones that have always guided this country. And for now, especially when the media is against us, in some circles, like in academic medicine where I come from, we don't even talk about being Republicans. We sort of avoid it. When I spoke with the Boston Globe, I was a whistleblower, they thought I was one of them until I spoke up. So I just wanted to say from the start that we can expand our base, and that's what we have to do, especially in a district where over half the district are so-called swing voters and independents, but the ones who take Republican ballots. Now, I'm running for a very specific reason. I want to restore accountability to government. I'm the one running who is a reformer with a proven record of taking on the special interests and bringing about real change for the people in New Hampshire. When I blew the whistle on corruption at the VA, I risked it all. I risked my medical license, I risked my career at the VA, which I ultimately did end up leaving, and I even risked imprisonment. Because if you don't think the government will come after you if you don't toe the line, just take a look at what's going on now in the news. So, I decided that something had to be done. And that moment came when I met with Ann Custer. And her first response was the VA wasn't in her district. For 18 years, I was taking care of veterans to the best of my ability. No one ever thought the VA was perfect or even well run. It's a government agency. It's the second largest bureaucracy in government. But I was able to make a difference. So that's why I stayed. But it reached the point under the leadership at the time that cover-ups were taking priority over achieving change, and that's where I got off. So my next step was to meet with Ann Custer. I met with her several times. I went to the Boston Globe, and when the articles finally came out, Ann Custer was on WMUR saying how she'd been working with me for over a year. And it took a few more meetings, but I got the message and contacted the New Hampshire Republican Party. At that time, it was Jeannie Forrester. She was as welcoming as the people were here, and I decided that this is something that had to be done, so I decided to run. With your help, I intend to blow the whistle on Washington, to end illegal immigration, to defend our constitutional rights, and to deliver more for our veterans. I feel we don't need more career politicians like Ann Custer. We need conservative outsiders who will work with the president to drain the swamp. I'm a doctor, I'm not a politician. Doctors have always been advocates for their patients, and once elected, I intend to be a staunch advocate for the people of the 2nd Congressional District. A year ago, when I stood at the podium of the Nashville Stakeout, I said, illegal immigration was a national fiasco. We will never have an immigration policy while our borders remain porous. Well, we've gone from a fiasco to a national tragedy. If you don't believe me, just talk to the parents of Molly Tibbetts. This family, because we thought we were a nation of the rule of law, have lost their loved one. And once I'm elected to Congress, I intend to make it known that our borders will become secure. And if you don't think that I could do that, understand I'm not the only one. There are plenty of people, just like people who have Republican values and don't want to speak up, that will band together, just like we banded together at the VA to get rid of local management, the network management, and eventually the Secretary of the VA. I also intend to support our Second Amendment rights. I said the other day on NHPR that these gun-free school zones should really be labeled homicidal maniac hunting preserves. And believe me, the people at NHPR got their attention at that point. Gun control is the death of 1,000 scratches, when in reality, we try to be reasonable and meet people halfway. Their response is really, they don't want guns in the United States. They brought out a retired Supreme Court justice who said that the Second Amendment is a relic of the Constitution. Well, I shudder to think when they feel other parts of the Bill of Rights are equally as obsolete. This is a very important election. We have a president to support and a Constitution to defend, and that's why I'm up here. So I'm asking for your support on September 11th. Thank you.
Our next speaker is someone who's also running for the 2nd Congressional District, and also the person that you have to thank for the wine tonight. Representative Steve Negron.
I don't like podiums. Before we get started, I'd like to take an opportunity to thank the wait staff that's doing a phenomenal job in making sure that we're taking care of. And where's Di? Di Lopla, young lady, tremendous job. Thank you so much. I'm Steve Negron, and I'm going to unseat Ann Custer. For over 40 years, I've been answering the call of duty in both the public and private sector. I'm retired military, and I'm a small business owner. I will protect and defend the unborn. I will protect and defend the Second Amendment, not just the Second Amendment, the entire Bill of Rights, because the Bill of Rights is a foundational document on which this country was founded on. Our founding fathers from New Hampshire refused to ratify the Constitution unless it had a Bill of Rights, and I'll be damned, I'll let anybody go after it. I will fight and help President Trump make the tax cuts permanent. I will fight against illegal immigration and help build that wall. Tell you why that's important. I am the grandson of a Mexican immigrant. My grandfather came across here in 1921 from Michoacan, Mexico. But you know what? There's a right way to do this. We're not doing it, and we need to get back to it. So why am I running? Ann Custer. If Ann Custer gets back into Congress, we know what she's going to do. She's going to go shoulder to shoulder with Pelosi. And let me tell you, Ann makes Pelosi look like a moderate. She's going to try the procedures to go ahead and get rid of our president. She's going to try and get rid of all of the issues and all of the good policies that our president has put in. We can't let that happen. Look, folks, since 2013, she's raised over $3.5 million. 1/2 of 1%. $17,000 of that money has come from New Hampshire. Who does she work for? She works for Washington, and she works for California. I'm retired military. My wife, who led us in the Pledge of Allegiance, is retired military. Before you ask, she does outrank me. But that's okay. My father's retired military. My sister served in the Air Force. My nephew served in the Army. Her father was Army Marine Corps. Our son is currently on active duty with the Air Force Special Operations Command in Florida right now. I've been raised around patriots my whole life. I don't know any other way. It's about service before self. It's about giving back. And this campaign is about fighting for New Hampshire families and freedoms. It's about fighting for you, your family, and our family. It's about restoring American confidence. And let me tell you what, on September 11th, when we win the nomination for the 2nd Congressional District, there's a little sign on the side view mirrors that says, objects in mirror are closer than they appear. That's the Negron train, and we're going to get rid of country. God bless you, and I love those paints. Thank you very much.
Croc TV.